So we are very excited about it. Rupee dollar trading has been one of the first products which we have actually asked for when we started India International Exchange in 2016 and 2017. So now it's almost taken 3 years for the policy on this to be finally created, and with the announcement by the Honorable Finance Minister in this budget in February 1, 2020, now we are very hopeful that we should be able to quickly start off the blocks and start launching the rupee dollar contract.
Right.
So today when we talk about internationalization, India is now having a dream of becoming a 5 trillion economy, and we are already the third largest economy from a purchase power parity perspective, and I think we are going to become very shortly a fifth largest economy from gross notional terms. And in that sense, obviously the currency trading is going to be very vital, and we think rupee as a currency itself is today well in demand in many jurisdictions. In fact, recently the Bank of India in their annual survey have said that in London alone, on a daily basis in the NDF market, almost $50 billion of rupee dollar trading is happening. In addition, we have also seen that geographies around us, whether it is Singapore exchange or whether it is Dubai Gold and Commodity Exchange or CME, Moscow, Hong Kong, all of them have actually official futures and options on the rupee dollar which are traded in their markets. In fact, DGCX was the first one which launched it way back in 2006, and today they have almost about 75 to 80% of the open interest in the offshore futures and options market. And now Singapore, after launching it in 2013-14, now has become a larger player than even Dubai in terms of the volumes.
Correct.
And effectively both these jurisdictions, one on the west and one on the east, Singapore and Dubai, cumulatively trade close to about $7 to $8 billion on a daily basis. So this is a significant market which we already exported, and obviously at GIFT City we want basically the IFSC to actually start what we call as onshoring the offshore.
Okay.
So which means we want to bring all these exported offshore products which are of Indian origin to come back and being traded in our own offshore center. And in that sense, this will be a very good beginning. There is something on which there is a lot of latent demand. A lot of our customers have actually requested for this product right from day one, and now we are very happy offering this product to the market. So today, if you look at it, one of the messages with the Prime Minister actually when he did an inauguration, Mr. Modi actually said that we should try to become a price setter and not just a price follower. And obviously anything which India trades finally will boil down to its currency parity with the rest of the world. And today dollar is the most powerful currency, so obviously rupee to dollar parity is going to be very important. And where does that price discovery happen is going to be very important. On the onshore market in India, we have very small market hours, whereas in the offshore centers, these are traded virtually on a 24 hours basis. And India International Exchange already has a market which is open for 22 hours, starting at 4:30 AM in the morning, which is when Japan opens, and goes on till the next business day at 2:30 AM in the morning, which is when Chicago closes. So effectively we are straddling all the time zones from east to west across the globe. So we are primarily looking at that zone to be catering to. And rupee dollar obviously is an international product, so we think a lot of participants will come to our market, will come to our exchange and start looking at us as the preferred offshore platform. And in terms of the volume growth, obviously we expect this to be a pretty large product because this is already traded pretty significantly. But more importantly, what we feel is that the real big participants who want to come, they should be coming to our market. So eventually the idea will be to get the maximum open interest from foreign investors to come to our exchange. So today when we talk about exchange, RBI obviously has a stated policy that it wants exchange rate stability. But at the same time it is a floated currency, it is basically freely traded. So in some sense, if it is available through a structured platform like us, we are also a regulated platform and we have all the surveillance mechanisms. Today our domestic exchanges in India, BSE and NSE both trade the rupee dollar, and for the last I think 8-10 years this has been going on pretty well. And it gives control to the RBI because some of its participants like banks are also allowed to participate in our market. So if they want to do some kind of an intervention in the market, they can always use the IFSC banking units to participate on us. So this will definitely give a lot more comfort to the regulator that the market is basically behaving properly and is trading in the right zones. And obviously, we, as an exchange, we have built in sophisticated surveillance. We also put in enough position limits checks, which SEBI has already prescribed, which is basically $1 billion per member, or $1 billion for each foreign investor, whether it is a eligible foreign investor or an FPI. They can go up to $1 billion in terms of naked positions, or 15% of the open interest of the market. So effectively, we want to be a broad-based market, but at the same time, a lot of people can come and freely express themselves.
Right.
So let me just count the steps. It started in 2019 when the RBI committed working group, I committee working group, headed by Srimati Usha Thorat, finally submitted a report recommending that this should be permitted in the IFSC. And then after that, it was also announced by the Ministry of Finance, and later on RBI in January issued a detailed circular permitting rupee dollar to be traded in the IFSC. And post that, in the budget, it has been announced on February 1. And immediately after the budget announcement on February 1, on February 3, SEBI came up with the final circular in terms of all the details in terms of position limits and how this can be traded. And as soon as it happened, the next day, on the same evening, we constituted our product committee, and on next day, we submitted the application to SEBI on February 4th. And as we speak today we are on February 19th. So I expect the approvals to come through very soon from SEBI. Probably it could be less than a week. And after that, we also have to get an approval from RBI in terms of authorization. So I think in a fortnight we should be ready. So by this month end, February end, I think we should be kind of ready. And it can, that's basically the outer timelines. It can happen even earlier. So we are already well prepared. In fact, we already reached out to all the participants and banks. We already done a couple of mock trading sessions. We also have a parallel simulation environment in which all banks and all participants can trade. Effectively, we are telling them to also get prepared gear up from their system side. And I think almost now everybody in the market is keen to get this started. So at this point of time in the IFSC, we cannot have resident Indians as participant. That will actually amount to a virtually opening India's capital account restrictions, which I think is not on the table. What we are talking about is that a lot of Indian corporates, Indian SMEs, or even those who are into export import, who have international trading arms, all of them obviously can look at coming and becoming a participant as a customer. But more importantly, we are looking at retail from all foreign individuals as well as non-resident Indians. So they are a pretty big community. Apart from that, all lending which has happened to Indian issuers or Indian companies from international arms, all of them have a rupee dollar exposure. So obviously they will all need a market to come and hedge. And if you look at it, the NDF size in just London itself is a $50 billion market a day. Singapore trades another $4-5 billion on the exchange. Apart from that, there is an NDF market there. And similarly, in New York, there is an NDF market. Dubai already trades $3-4 billion every day. So if you look at it, the size of the market is pretty large. So we are talking about a big pie which we are going to actually bite into.